What's up, y'all? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hey. Woo. I'm rested today, y'all. I'm feeling good. I've been working on content all day today, so you guys are going to be getting a lot from me today. So, this is something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, okay? And that is how I handle split signings. And with that, I'm going to be talking about also why I think the NNA, although it's very necessary for us to have their certification and their background check in our industry, but it's just not enough. Okay, you need more. You need more than that, and I'm going to tell you why. So, first of all, drop down in the comments and let me know how you handle split signings. But I'm going to tell you how I handle them, and I'm talking about this because I've noticed some things. From other notaries, either comments or just things that they've shared with me or things that I've observed when I've done a split signing and say I'm getting the second half of it after the first notary has already handled it. I'm nosy, so I'm kind of looking at how they handled it and what they did throughout the package, right? So, a couple things. Though some may know, some may not know what a split signing is. So let me explain it to you. A split signing is where there are two or more parties involved in a transaction. Either, I don't know, you're buying a home, selling a home, or a business. It could be a commercial property, refinancing it, whatever the case may be. There's more than one party involved in the transaction, and these two parties are not in the same city, state, area, whatever. I even have some times where one party is working opposite hours than their other party, their other spouse or what have you, and they just cannot sign at the same time. So the signing has to occur at different times, okay? So that's what a split signing is. So you, as a notary loan signing agent, you might get the husband, and someone else in another city or state might have the wife. Or I've done split signings for corporations where I'm handling one member of the corporation and there's 20 other members that have to sign in various parts of the world, okay, or whatever. So I kind of have like a sample loan package with me. Everything's redacted, but this sample loan package is one I'm using for training and stuff like that. So I thought it would be a good example. So you'll get, let's say this is a buyer package, right? So you'll get a whole package come to you. Typically when you do a split signing, they'll usually like FedEx it to you if you're doing the second half of it. If you're doing the first half of it, you might just get it regularly and, have to print the docs as usual. But sometimes in the scenario that I'm gonna be talking about today, I got a split signing and I am doing the second half of it. So the first half of it has already been done and I'll get the rest of the loan docs already signed by the other party in the mail overnight. Or I've done them at a title company where I go show up at the title office and the documents have already been signed from the other party on their side, right? And I'm just there picking them up. Hello, how you doing? So you'll get the package and let's say one party has already signed, right? So you'll see the package, you'll go through it and there's two signers, let's say in this scenario, two signers. And one has already signed on the signature line on all the required docs that need to be signed. And the other one is blank because you need to get that signature, right? So, of course, you go through, get all the signatures that you need from that signer. And then you're going to get to, let's say, the deed that needs to be notarized, right? The deed that needs to be notarized is going to have both signers. Typically, it might have both of their names typed in, this section. John and Jane Doe, let's say, right? Or typed in that section. So I'm doing the loan signing for Jane, and John's name is on here too. So obviously I'm going to have to cross out John's name, initial it, because I'm only notarizing Jane, right? So when you do a split signing, you have to pay attention to that because either you're going to have to cross out cross out the name on the acknowledgement or jurat for the person who's not present, and do the notarization on the acknowledgement or jurat that's been included, or you'll have to just attach your own. In the scenarios that I've had where I've gotten the package after the first party has already signed, that notarial certificate has already been completed by the first notary. So I can't do anything with that. I just have to attach my own for the person who I'm signing with at that time, if that makes sense, okay? So I decided to do this video and talk about this because in one of my videos, I talked about an issue I had with a split signing where I got the package and the person that I was signing with, their name was crossed out on every single signature line. Every single signature line, their name was crossed out. And I'm like, those documents had to be reprinted because their name should not have been crossed out on every signature line. And I got tons of comments coming in on me saying, oh, well, the NNA trains you and tells you to cross out the party who's not there. Okay, so this is where I want to say, this is why I emphasize that the NNA, although is necessary in our industry, we need the certification and we need the background check because it's well respected in our industry. But the training is not enough. Like if you just do the NNA training, you're not going to be well equipped. You're just not going to be. It's not enough. It's very, it's just a very, it skims the surface. It skims the surface. And when I got all of those comments coming from people telling me that, oh, the NNA tells you to cross out everything, it became apparent to me like most of these people probably only took the NNA certification and they don't really have a whole grasp on what the whole transaction entails. You understand what I'm saying? So the NNA probably tells you, oh, cross out when you're doing a split signing. That lets me know if you cross out the name on every document that you really don't understand the process. And that's why I say the NNA, although is well respected and we need it for certain things in our industry, it's just not enough. You do not want to rely on that certification alone. You need more education. And so let me just emphasize also that yes, you do have to cross out the party who's not there on the notarial certificates that you're not in transaction with because you're not notarizing for that person. You only want to have the name on the notarial certificate for the person that's in front of you, right? So naturally, you'll cross out on the notarial certificates only, not the entire loan package. For the simple fact that I got so many comments on that video where people telling me that the NNA tells them that. Yes, CJ.
The package is on the door.
Okay, I'll get it. Thank you. Sorry, guys. I couldn't believe I didn't get one comment like that. I didn't get two comments like that. I didn't get three. I got lots of comments like that, you guys, from people telling me like, oh no, the NNA tells you to cross out. The NNA tells you to cross out. The NNA tells you to cross out. And I'm like, okay, so you guys don't really get it. You know what I mean? Yeah, the NNA probably tells you to cross out, but they're not telling you to cross out the person's name on every signature line in the entire package. If you just stop and think about that for a minute logically, just stop and think about it for a minute logically, that makes no logical sense, right? I mean, it doesn't to me. You guys tell me what you think. So that's why I emphasize that we need more than the NNA certification. I get that question every day too. Oh, I took the NNA certification. Isn't that enough? Do I need the loan signing system? Do I need more education? Yes, you do. And you don't just need it one time. It's continuous. Like I take continuous trainings through LSS. I'm in weekly mentorships. I'm like daily absorbing information, keeping myself abreast of what's going on in the industry, what's going on in the real estate market. Like you have to continuously educate yourself. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that really quickly. Hold on, you guys. Let me shut my door. And I'm sorry, you guys, if my kids pop in here on me. But Yeah. Oh, and for all y'all who've been reading me for filth about my teeth, which I have perfect, beautiful teeth, by the way. I never had braces. I just have good teeth. But you guys have been telling me that I drink so much of these that it wears down the enamel. So guess what? I got a straw for y'all today. I don't want to hear it no more. Y'all I got a straw, okay? Dang, calm down. So, anyways, tell me how you guys handle split signings. Tell me how you guys handle them, because I don't know. I just feel like you guys, we really have to have a full understanding of what this process entails. I think even though we're not involved in the loan sign of it, we're not involved, we're not escrow officers, we need to understand all the moving parts and why things are the way that they are, why things are a certain way, why you're doing certain things. You need to know the why. You don't want to just be signing and not know what you're having these signers sign. You understand what I'm saying? Like, although we're an impartial third party, so to speak, we still need to be knowledgeable about this whole process. So for the simple fact that I got flooded with at least 10 to 12 people in the comments on that video telling me that, oh, the NNA tells you to cross out the names. It's like, okay, but why? And on what document? You're not crossing out the names on every. I got a package, you guys, for a split signing. I was doing the second half of it. The first half of it already been done. I opened the package and every signature line was crossed out for the person that I had to sign, and those documents had to be reprinted. So let me see what you guys are saying in the comments. Hold on. Yes. So someone asked, do you suggest doing a training course first and then go to NNA for exam and background check? Yes. The NNA and background check for me was like the last step. I immersed myself in the loan signing system and immersed myself in learning all about the loan side of it before I did the NNA and the certification, the background check. That was my last step, because really getting your commission, background, all that check and all that should be the last step, because at that point you're ready to go, right? So before you're ready to go, so to speak, you need to know what you're doing first. So it doesn't really make sense to get the NNA certification and background check and all that stuff if you haven't brushed up and are fully combed through the loan side of it and know what you're doing, if that makes sense. Yeah, these kids are funny. Girl, these comments, Joy, I can't. It'd be too much. Um, yeah, you cannot go wrong with LSS. I cannot stress that enough. You can't go wrong with it. So someone asking, you talk about how you prepare for the LSS test. Is it multiple choice or do you have to memorize definitions? No, you don't have to memorize definitions. Yes, multiple choice. And if you go through the system, if you go through all the modules and really retain the information, I did that by taking notes, by going back and watching it over and over before I took the test. You'll pass it, no problem. You don't want to. Here's what I'm seeing. Here's what I'm recognizing people are doing. And it's unfortunate. I'm noticing some people, and I can tell this just by the questions that they ask me. They're paying for the course. They're maybe looking at some of the videos, skipping through it, and then asking questions. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't think some people, not all people, some people, like, if you're gonna go and invest money in something, utilize all the resources within that system. Don't try to skim through it and skip through it and all that. Please do not. Please don't do that. Oh, thank you, Joy. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Please don't do that, you guys. If you're going to put your money into something, utilize it. I'm noticing some people pay for the system, and I think that they're just looking for like a quick information. No, it's a lot of information in those modules, and you need to go through all of them. You need to comb through all of them and make sure you understand what you're combing through. If you don't understand, you can ask questions, you can take notes, make sure that you're retaining the information, and then take your exam and move forward. But don't try to skim through it. If you skim through it, then yeah, you probably won't be ready for the exam. But if you take your time with it, you will be. It's not hard. What somebody else asked? And when you take the loan signing system, he tells you that too. He tells you exactly what steps to take first, second, third, last. I mean, it's a literal blueprint, you guys. All you do is follow the blueprint. If you follow it, you'll be successful. If you try to deviate from it, you may not be. I think if you try to deviate from it, that's just not smart, right? Think about it this way. This is how I think about it. Mark is a multimillionaire, right? So his business.
Get the package downstairs.
I'll get it. Oh God, sorry, you guys. His loan signing business is generating millions of dollars. So why wouldn't you want to follow every step he's giving you? Like, people I'm seeing people try to reinvent the wheel, take what he's saying, try to do it differently. No, just follow it. Just do exactly what he's telling you to do. It works and you'll be successful. It's really that simple. I mean, there are little things that I don't deviate from, but I make it my own, like when he gives you tips on marketing and stuff like that, I'll still take his general principles and then still kind of put my own spin on how I market and stuff like that. But literally take the information and replicate it, duplicate it, copy it, do exactly what he's doing, and you're going to get the same results that he's getting. That's why I'm successful, and you see all these other loan signing system students come out and say that they're so successful because we're literally just following exactly what he's telling us to do. Basically, that's what we're doing. So somebody asked, is the general notary exam through California, the Secretary of State, hard? Is a multiple choice? It is multiple choice. It was not hard for me. However, I've heard some people say that it was difficult for them or they didn't pass it. My opinion on that is the same. You have to study. It's a lot of information, and you just need to study. I spent a lot of time on the course. The course is 6 hours. It times you to make sure that you spend 6 hours on it. But after I was done with my 6 hours, I spent even more time on it. And then I took a practice exam. The course, I can't remember the name of the one I used. I'll find it and put it in the description box for you guys. But they had a practice exam. And so I went through, passed the practice exam. And of course, they say, okay, if you pass the practice exam, you're going to pass the real one. I went and I took my state exam, and I passed it with flying colors. I got like a 90-something%. So, but I talked to, let's say, my cousin. She took the exam and she said she failed, but I don't think that she spent a lot of time studying, So with anything, whatever you put into it, you'll get out of it. Just make sure you're prepared, study, take the practice exams, and you'll do fine. The only thing I'll say about the state exam, I wouldn't consider it hard, but it is a type of multiple choice test where you might have 3 choices and all 3 of them or 2 of them seem like they could be the right answer. So that's where you really have to lean in and like memorize. I would say where they kind of get you on is the fines. Like, certain things that we could do as a notary in the state of California can result in a fine. The fine might be $2,500. It might be $5,000. It might be $25,000. And so you have to memorize which occurrence equals which fine, which dollar amount. And so sometimes that's tricky. I think I got a couple of those wrong. But other than that, the other questions are kind of easy, in my opinion, if you study. Let me see. Right. Hudson Valley Virtual Services said the process cannot be rushed too much at stake during a sign. I agree. But I think people are trying to rush through it because they're trying to hurry up and get to the money. Like you don't want to do that. The money will come. Trust me, the money will come but the money will come only if you're a really good loan signing agent, and you're not going to be really good if you don't take the time to invest in your education. So take your time with that. Don't rush that. The money will come, but if you're thinking about, let me just hurry up and get to the money, it's not going to come. Because you're going to be rushing through and you're not going to know what you're doing. And a notary that doesn't know what they're doing is not going to get business, period. Mm-hmm. Someone said the LSS is super simple. You just have to apply yourself. Yeah, really, I agree. Someone says, has anyone experienced their notary commission not coming after a month and a half? I recently moved, but it still never came. Have you followed up with the Secretary of State? I know with COVID things have been delayed, but a close friend of mine just got her commission and it didn't take that long. It was like less than 2 weeks or around 2 weeks or something like that. So if it's been that long, I would follow up. I mean, that's here in California, though. I don't know what state you're in. Every state is different. That's a good question. Letitia said, do you follow the process of how he organized documents, or do you keep them in order? I keep them in order. So I don't follow his process. That's why I said some things, once you get into it, you can kind of just make your own, But when I first started, yes, baby.
Look at my toy.
Okay, let me fix it. When I first started,
Mommy, look. They're all dirty.
What did you put on it?
With this.
What is that?
This is cheese.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that. That's wax paper. Okay, I'll clean it. Okay.
Mommy, can I put some water on it?
No, just let me do it, please.
Okay.
When I first started, I used to use his system with how he organized documents, but a lot of the title companies that I work with, specifically some of the directs, they don't like that. They want everything to stay in order. So, yeah, that doesn't matter. That's something that you could deviate from. In the loan signing system, he's having you do it that way, or suggesting you do it that way to make it easier to notarize at the table. But I just keep everything in order, and I still notarize at the table, and I don't have any problems. But I'm learning most companies and most escrow officers, they want everything in the order that it's that the file is in. So I don't take it out of order. But that's just me. So I think we kind of just talked about that, Nina. No. Oh, shout out to the Bay Area, by the way. I'm from the Bay too. That should be your last step. If you're planning to be a loan signing agent, I think you should go ahead and dive into the loan signing course first, and then do your notary commission last, because you don't really need your commission until you learn the loan signing portion of it. The commission is the last step. Once you get that, you're ready to go, you're ready to sign, but you need the knowledge on the loan signing end first, if that makes sense. Yeah. Someone asked, do you need NNA and LSS? Yeah, you do. You do. You do. And I mean, the reason is, the NNA doesn't really, oh, thank you, Nina. Thank you guys. The NNA really doesn't go deep into being a successful loan signing agent. That's why Mark created the course. That's why he's so successful with it, because there's nothing really else out there that goes that deep into it. The NNA is just like skims the surface. It's just a little certification. It skims the surface. However, they're very well respected in the industry. You know what I mean? So most companies won't deal with you if you don't have an NNA certification or an NNA background check. So that's really the reason why you need it. Just get the certification and the background check. Is like $65. You don't have to really worry about buying all that other stuff. You just dive into the loan signing system for everything else, and then just get the NNA certification and background. That's all you really need from them. But you do need both. You do need both. Oh, New Jersey. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, as long as you're following up, it's not taking quite that long here in California. But like I said, every state is different. Yeah, hopefully it comes soon. So someone asked about completing their notary journal always takes a long time. Yeah, so let me ask you this. Are you completing everything at the signing? Because here's what I do to cut down on some time. At the signing table, I only write in their, like on my first entry, I'll take everything. I'll write in their name, their driver's license number, the expiration date, all that good stuff, right, on one block. And then all the other blocks, I'll just write in their name. I'm not filling everything in at the table, right? I'm filling in their name and the type of notarization, whether it's an acknowledgement or jurat. I'm doing that on each one, like really fast. And then I go in and have them sign and give me the right thumbprint on each one. And then later, I've even had like one of my kids do it, my son or my daughter. They'll go in and fill everything in for me later. Like there's no way to do that at the table. Like if you sit and do that at the table, your signers are going to take way too long. The signers are going to get irritated. They don't be wanting you there that long. They want to get the signing done and get on. So that's my tact that I've used. I use the first line to record all the information, and then later when I get home, myself or one of my kids will go and just copy everything that I've put on that first line. They'll copy it on all the other lines. Because yeah, stop doing that at the table. Just get all your information on one line for each signer, and then you can go back and fill all the rest in later. But make sure you go back and fill it in, because people are getting audited here in California anyway. So does anybody have, my initial question was, does anybody have experience with split signings? And I was just curious of how you all handle them, and if you ran into a situation I ran into where you have a split signing and everything is crossed out on the documents. I've had that happen before, and I talked about it in another video, and I had a lot of people in the comments telling me that that's what they learned from the NNA, and that's why I'm coming on here to say that you need more than the NNA training, if that's the understanding that you're getting from them, because that's not really what they're saying. When they say cross out the other person's name when you're doing a split signing, they don't mean on every document. It's only going to be on the notarial certificate. You know, obviously we cannot notarize anything for somebody who's not in front of us. So the person that you're doing the split signing for should be the only name on the notarial certificate. And if there's another name on that notarial certificate, that's what you line out and initial. But you don't want to do that on every single document in the package, if that makes sense. So just want to hop on here and share that with you all. Someone asked if you have a sign at night. Have you had your husband come with you? No, I don't. He's usually here with the kids. So no, I'm pretty, I don't know the word, pretty fearless. I have people asking me that all the time. I don't even think about it. I don't even think about like should I be scared, or I don't think about it. Maybe I should be more cautious, but I'm like, I don't. Especially now it gets dark at 5 o'clock. So I'm out here. Out here. Okay, so that's pretty much all I wanted to share with you guys right now. If you don't have any more questions, I'm gonna hop off. I have to get ready for a couple of Zoom calls this evening. As always, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Anybody who didn't catch this live, of course, if you have questions or you want to comment on the split signings, how you handle them, and just kind of give me some feedback on what your thought process is if you got the same training from the NNA regarding crossing out. I'm just curious about that. And hopefully this live clarified why you should or should not do that, and when you should cross out and when you should not cross out. You should not be crossing out on every single line. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, if you're doing the first part of the split signing, there should really be nothing to cross out because you're doing the first person. The cross outs usually come if you're doing the second person. So the first person's already signed and you're getting the second half of it, if that makes sense. So until next time, you guys, have a good evening. Bye.